Okay, now we have a hip-to-hip connection. The elbow cut can be hard sometimes, it can be a difficult thing to do. And it's usually a pretty easy thing from here to start going in and getting my knee to the far hip. Whereas if she brings the knee in from side control, now the easiest thing is just to sag away and just go right into an elbow cut from here. Now we can go tight waist, we can start stuffing, we can step right back over, or we can go body lock, we can go top, head, and arm. We can do so many different things once we hit the elbow cut, but the elbow cut is by far and away the easiest thing to hit because of the fact that there's no hip-to-hip connection. All right, so let's look at this specific grip everyone's talking about. Oh, he's using different grips. Easy to deal with. Where he takes the overback grip from here, and instead of being up on his elbow, he's down on his shoulder from a position like this, and he has the overback grip, but he has the elbow in like so, and we're in a situation like this. Okay, now the mistake that people make and the reaction that he's assuming people are going to give you is that you're going to try to come to a reach back cross face because your hands are able to come off the floor, and as you're going to do that, he's going to bump you forward with the knee, and then immediately he's going to shoot to that overwrap of the leg and come up into positions like this. Okay, yeah, if you try to go for a reach back cross face, it's going to happen. You should never be going for a reach back cross face from here. The second that at any point you see he's in where our opponent's in a position like this, instead of going for a reach back cross face right from here, like if he's up on his elbow and we're here, now I can go to a reach back cross face much easier, because now when he goes to bump me forward with his knee, it's hard for him to bump me forward because his own elbow stops me from coming forward because I'm wedged against his body. So the reach back cross face from here makes sense. Like if he tries to go here or tries to grab my foot, now when he tries to bump me forward, he bumps me into a situation where I can just flatten him out and elongate his body. But if my opponent is down on the shoulder and I try to go for a reach back cross face, then there's nothing stopping me from flying forward. Right now, the body's angled like this. So when he bumps me forward, he bumps me into the upper body, and the upper body is what stops me from getting thrown forward. But when the shoulder's down on the floor and he bumps me forward, then I just slide over the body, and the reach back cross face actually inhibits me from doing work. So as I go to reach back cross face, she bumps me forward. Now I'm here, and now this can start happening. Yeah, this is not time for a reach back cross face. So from this position, the second I see someone down on the shoulder and working from positions like this, here, where I feel like I can't slide over the bicep and I can't do the previous moves where she doesn't have a grip on the wrist and I can't slide over the bicep. She doesn't have a 2-on-1. Whenever I see this, immediately what I'm going to look to start doing is I just take an overback grip and I take this knee and I just glue it right to the hip. So now, as she goes to start bumping me forward, I just move into this position here. Now when she goes to bump me forward, we immediately can start leg riding. So we just turn towards the hips. Big mistake that everyone makes, a reaction that no one good is going to give you, is that they're going to try to reach back cross face and get thrown off the top. Okay? If he uses this thigh post, like so, and I go to reach back cross face, now he just bumps me forward, and now I get beat every time. This is no good. So instead, the second I see this, we're here. The second we see this, we immediately just turn the hips towards him and take the knee and bring it right to the hip. Now as he goes to bump me forward, just kills the entire position. And now from here, he's on his shoulder. Now when she goes to build up to an elbow, best case scenario is her back's exposed. Okay? So you never go into a reach back cross face with this thigh post because of the fact that the bump forward is going to screw you up, put your hands on the floor, and then allow her to come up and start overwrapping that leg or doing whatever else that she would do from there. All right, so one of the things that our partner can look to do from this thigh post in here is, if I make the mistake of trying to hit that reach back cross face, okay, again, if she's up on the elbow and she's playing here, now she can't put my hand on the floor. The reach back cross face makes perfect sense, because from here, when I go to reach back cross face, now when she goes to bump me forward, she can't do it. If she goes to the elbow cut back from here, it's already too late. We can always bring our elbows together. Okay? But if I try to reach back cross face from this position and she goes to bump me forward from here, now I can start getting beat from this position. But a lot of times from here, what you find is that your partner can go in two directions. Okay, she can start coming up, so she can bump me forward. She can come up to the overback. Up to the overback, or wrap the leg. So she can bump me forward. So I come up into situations like this. Okay, or let's say she goes to bump me forward from here, and you get this reaction, where now she can't really overwrap the leg, and she can't come up to the overback because there's too much weight over the head. What she can do from here, she can go into an elbow cutback. And now she can come up to a single leg and start exposing singles, and my back can start scrimmaging from this position. Okay, this is the real utility of this position. It's a scrimmaging position. It's not a guard. Okay, so when I see my partner bumps me forward in this position, for whatever reason, if I try to reach back cross face and I'm like a little bit behind, or whatever the case is, my partner bumps me forward in this position, I can stop the initial. What I should be doing is turning in this direction like so. Okay. Now, if I don't want her to start coming up and overwrapping the leg, we can just step this leg out for base. If I see that she goes to elbow cutback, I know which way she's going. Okay. If she goes to elbow cutback, I can now safely take my knee to the floor, because as her elbow's coming back, now there's no chance of her reaching and overwrapping my leg. But there is a chance of her wrapping the outside of this leg. The second I see she goes to that elbow cutback, we just take our knee to our partner's hip. So now when she goes to start scrimmaging and get up, get that far hip control, just like we looked at in securing the score. And now when she goes to get up from here, that's going to be impossible. Okay. So in the event that I screw everything up and I make the blue belt mistake of reaching back and going for a reach back cross face, so I'm here, I try to get a hit a reach back, I'm like, oh, cross face is there, and she goes to bump me forward, we just immediately place our knee in the hip. Now when she goes to beat me, you win every time, and we can go in and start controlling our partner from here. All right, so just some counters. It's a pretty, once you know what to do, it's a pretty easy thing to deal with. And like I said, the reactions that he's getting from these people are just all the wrong reactions, so he looks like a rock star. But the second I see that someone reaches through and posts on their own thigh, the second I see this, I'm immediately just sitting here. And now when she goes to play, and you just completely killed the whole position. And now if she tries to elbow cut back from here, we can go and we can lift the legs. We can go and we can scoop the leg, guys. There's just so many options that we have to beat our partner from that elbow cut back. Just always turning hips towards your partner's hips makes everything so much easier. All right, so just as in half guard, when my partner goes to heist, we have to look to start countering the heist. Now it's going to happen a lot faster from this position, so we have to immediately be ready to start opening up our hips and beating our partner when she goes to heist up from here. All right, so right from this position, as she goes to start heisting, we immediately are going to start looking to start opening those hips up. So as she goes to get up, we can start moving ourselves into situations where our knees are around my partner's hips. We can start controlling her from positions like this. Okay. If at any point from here we feel that she goes to heist and my knees get caught in a position like this, and she goes to start overwrapping my leg or reaching for my foot in situations like so, okay, now from here we have to start playing with all the previous moves that we looked at before. Okay, but the main difference here is that the heist is going to come much faster because you can't keep your partner's leg trapped. So right from this position, we're in half guard, and she goes to heist. There's usually some kind of a bridge where she goes to bridge into me, then she goes to heist up and the leg kind of gets caught up a little bit. Whereas here, the second she gets to this overback grip, a lot of times right from here, she gives a quick bridge towards me, and then as she goes to heist, she just immediately is up to this position. If my knee's on the floor, I'm going to get beat from here. You're not get beat, but you're going to be, you've missed a lot of steps. There's a lot of things that went wrong, right? So the second I see that she goes to start getting up, immediately just move into this position here. So now we can go into all of our follow-up attacks and leg rides, back takes, mounted position, and work from positions like this. Okay, and of course, at any point, she goes to start heisting and it hits an elbow cutback. Again, it's a pretty similar position, except for the fact that the legs aren't engaged. So if I can come back. If I can hit an elbow cutback and get inside like so, now from here we can go in and we can start coming up into turtle position and working to attack our partner. if we have a relatively equal elbow cut back, like if she goes to elbow cut back and I go to elbow cut back, and we end up in situations like this, okay? Now, just do back a step, up, down, you guys. Okay? If we end up in situations like this, now as we both go to heist from here, I have control per leg. So as we both go to get up, I have the advantage that we can usually put our partner down and make something happen. If she comes up and she gets an elbow cut back from here, and she comes up high, over my shoulder like so. Now, the whole thing is we need to get that Simigation hook in. And now we can start using that Simigation hook to start falling back and away. Okay, so if I say that she goes high over the shoulder, she goes to start heisting from here, has the elbow cut back, goes high over the shoulder, I post on that knee. Here. So that now, as she goes to come towards me, we can always take her back over into a chest-to-chest half guard or into a bottom side control. And finally, as she goes to start heisting up,